Hi, folks. Chris Voss here from the ChrisVossShow.com and ChrisVossGaming.com. You can go to Chris Voss Gaming Podcast to see all our interviews with gaming developers and coverage of games and reviews. Today, we are covering the new Call of Duty Modern Warfare. This thing is launched on all platforms, and it is pretty freaking nice. I'm very impressed with it. I've always been kind of a sort of Call of Duty fan, but not someone who was ever into it over the years. I think Ghost was the last real Call of Duty I got into. But we got a chance to review this game, check it out. And I got to tell you, I'm super impressed. I'm highly addicted to the fast-paced, kind of crazy of the PvP play. Well, some people are kind of complaining about how, it's kind of Battlefieldish in some cases on some of the maps. I really like it. It's very fun. It's very intense. You've got gunships that can come in and kill you from the sky. You've got snipers that can pick you off. And, of course, you can do the same at picking people off with snipers. A wild array of different guns you can do. And it's really fast-paced and intense. It almost gives you that same rush that people feel in battle because there's so much going on around you. There's people that can come out of anywhere, front, behind, around you to kill you from hiding. It's really, I think the main word that I keep coming back to with Call of Duty PvP or just the player storyline. The storyline and the co-op missions are the same way. I would say just the key word on this game review is intense. It is an intense playstyle. The story is intense, front to back. The story is great. There's up to 7 hours of story, I guess how you play through it in your speed, but there's up to 7 hours of story. So there's a great story that's very intense, kind of shocking, kind of, if you're a parent, you may want to review it for your child. There's some different aspects of it with torture and other things but it gives a realism to battle and war that probably is a lesson for all of us and what people have to go through in it, but it gives realism to the game. And if you like realism, this probably is going to do that for you. I like the story, but I got to tell you, I got sucked into the PvP play, and I really have enjoyed it. The bigger maps and play styles where you can play on the bigger maps with bigger teams and different vehicles and stuff is fun as well. Co-op missions are great. I like how everyone can kind of play together. One of the really cool things about this game in the PvP aspect is it pulls crossplay from all the different platforms. So when you go into these games, you're literally playing with people from PC, Xbox, and PS4 all on the same teams and stuff. And so I think that's going to be really good because I've seen times where games launch on certain platforms and they die on those platforms. A good example is Bungie's Destiny 2. They launched it on BlizzardNet, and it really didn't gain acceptance. It really didn't gain traction. We built a lot of clans over there when they offered the game for free in desperation, and those all died once the free ran out and people ran out of the game content. And so the PC aspect of being on Destiny really died for a long time. I'm hoping now that it's back on Steam, that will make a difference for it. So I really love the game. I've been really addicted, like almost from the get-go, addicted to PvP. I've had a lot of my friends say it's one of the best Call of Duties out there. One of the best, keep in mind. There's some argument between Call of Duty fans if it's the best, so I'll let you guys work all that out. But the reviews on it have been coming in really good. Seems to be on average about 8 out of 10 from the views I've seen from top publishers. I like it too. I would definitely give it an 8 out of 10 and everything else. Some of the things I'd like to see is maybe a lower time to kill so that you can have more time to scrum. But I like how it's not like Battlefield where you don't spend half an hour running back into the battle just to get killed in 5 seconds. And that's seems to be all you ever do is run. I hated that about Battlefield. This thing is pretty awesome. The graphics are exceptional. One thing to keep in mind, though, is I'm hearing from a lot of friends that if you don't have a really good processor or a really good GPU, you may have some trouble running this game, even after you tweak the settings. I'm running a 5-year-old processor on my computer with a 1050 Ti, and it's running really fine for me. I'm not running an Ultra, I'm just running in high. but it's running really fine for me and doing well. But there's some times where I do have little graphical issues, but I haven't had any sort of locking up or any sort of things that have really screwed up the game or make gaming fun for me. But I've had some friends who have 1080s GPUs with really low processors that have been having issues with lockup and just bad gameplay, and that's with them turning the settings all the way down. Some of my other friends who have good processors had the 900 series NVIDIA GPUs. They were having serious trouble with the things. So keep that in mind. You definitely want to download the latest drivers for your NVIDIA or your GPUs, because there's a lot of drivers that they put out to deal with Call of Duty. So you may want to take and do that as well. Keep that as a factor. You definitely want to have a very powerful computer to play this game, but that's going to make you enjoy it all the better with the graphics and everything else. The only other complaint I have about the game, and I'm trying to see if I can fix it in the settings with contrast, is the enemies tend to blend into the background, so it gets really hard to differentiate them and see them. I had the same problem in Anthem early on. When Anthem came out, you couldn't really tell the enemies because of the blackish color of the colors of the enemies, and them being smaller, which is a really weird thing. They would blend into the background, and you'd be like, where am I getting shot from? And the only thing you would see is a red dot. So I would hope that they would fix that, but I think this is something they'll probably add to the game. I really like the game. I've become an instant fan of Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and I think you will too if you like these types of games, shooter games, PvP. To be honest with you, I've got to be fully clear with you, I'm not a big PvP lover. I love my game Destiny and several other games, but I'm not a big PvP person. I'm not a huge gamer in that sense, and I have some blindness in my left eye, so I don't normally enjoy PvP. So what I'm saying to you is for me to fall in love with the PvP in this game, that really says something to me, is the quality of the PvP, because I'm really enjoying it. It's really fast paced. It's really intense. It'll call out and be like, hey, watch out, you've got incoming ships that are going to blow you up and do drone strikes on you, so you got to go find cover. It's scrum and scramble everywhere, and you never know where you're going to get shot, and it's a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed it. So like I said, I give it 8 out of 10 stars. I think it's a great game, and I think hopefully it will get better with some of the different things they're doing. But what a really engaging game that they've taken and built here. So Call of Duty Modern Warfare, I love it. I think you will too. Just make sure you have a really good solid processor and GPU, and that, I think, will make your game experience a whole lot better. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe to our channels. Go to youtube.com/Chris Voss to subscribe to all of our gaming that we do there as well. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.